Wow, she sounds good now. 2002 Nissan Xterra, 3.3, about 200 some thousand miles on it. I tell you what, I had to go through a lot to get it to run this nice, all because of fuel injector problems on this side. And this video is going to be more or less a story of how I got it like that. It starts out by, you know, after I get it all back together, start driving it after a while. This side, I started getting a check engine light on from random misfires. Then eventually a code came up for an injector, so I took them out. And here's the original fuel injectors. You can see they're not the world's best. So I went on eBay and bought some. And turns out, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I think it was the first set I bought was something like this. Had the same part number on it, SJ23-4. Stuck them in. Ran beautifully. Then the check engine light came on and said bank 1 was running too rich. Now we're just going to talk about bank 1. Bank 2 was never a problem. So I couldn't figure out what I'd done. Maybe I'd torn a seal. Something, you know, down there I did wrong. I couldn't figure out what was going on, so I bought a second set of injectors, and I believe it was these here. And you notice the tips are a little bit different. That just has a single little hole there in it. This one here has like a single hole with a circle around it. So I put 3 different ones on this side in. Still got the same code, running bank 1 too rich. And I was starting to pull my hair out. I figured, what did I do wrong? So I thought, you know what? I'm going to stick my original fuel injectors back in. Even though they were bad, they were causing me problems. So I figured, well, maybe if I stick these back in, the problem will clear up. So stuck all 3 of these back in. Watched the data on the scan code here on bank 1, bank 2. And the fuel trims went way down, right back where they should be. Now when these were in it, and I had the running bank rich one, the code, the short term and long term fuel trims were pegged 25 minus 25 minus 27. They just stayed massively just pegged. So I knew the fuel injectors were wrong. So I couldn't find any fuel injectors anywhere for sale on eBay that were, you know, I could trust. I got nervous after buying 2 sets, and I thought, what am I doing wrong? So I got to do some research online, and I started reading some forums. And if you notice, a lot of these fuel injectors on this one right here, there's a little black dot. I think you might be able to see that one there even. Well, they have black, red dots, blue dots, and you got to go by your VIN number. Mine is, I think, E, the 4th VIN number. And you got to make sure you get the exact same fuel injector because they're metered differently. So, long story short is I bought this entire rail off of eBay for, I think it was like $60. And I thought, well, I'm just going to use some original fuel injectors. I'll just buy some used ones. So, lo and behold, I took 3 of these out, stuck them in there. The problem went away. It is running perfectly smooth, and my fuel trims are way down like they should be. 1.8 minus 8 on long term. That's actually bank 1 now is running a little bit better than bank 2. So my problem was fuel injectors. Now I even took my multimeter here, checked them all out, and a lot of them read okay, but some of them that I bought used, they leaked around the top. Some of them just pumped fuel into the system raw, and some of them didn't work at all. So you really can't go by just checking them on the meter. You really got to have a way to see if they're spraying right and all that. And these are really hard to do because you've got this special rail they sit in here. You know, I mean, a lot of guys can just buy a can and spray a nozzle in here and put a little bit of current here and spray these and clean them up really nicely. But these are really hard to work with. So I ended up putting some used ones in it, and it's working fine now. So, you know, I pulled my hair out to get it this way, but I figured I'd make this video and share it with you guys. At least you have a Nissan Frontier, you're having problems, it's shaking, but you're not really getting any check engine lights or anything. You might want to start looking at your fuel injectors, and looky here on the bottom of this. This is what happens after 100,000 miles. Look at that. See all that stuff there? On the bottom of there, black. Get the camera to focus, you might be able to see it there. A lot of that gump that's under there, that becomes a problem after a while with these fuel injectors. I wish my camera would focus a little bit better for you so you can see that, but you get the idea how dirty it is in there. So I took 3 of these out and cleaned them and put them in there, no problem. Now, one other tip here is these little screws that you see here, don't even attempt to try to take these out with something like this. Screwdriver, you're going to end up stripping these. And trust me, I've done my share of stripping. What you got to do is use something like this. Impact. That's the impact driver here that I got. Paid like $20 for it. Best tool you can have. Get something like this in here and break these screws with, because if you hit these screws enough, they will break loose eventually. And I actually got all 6 of mine out without hurting anything, without breaking anything, which is pretty amazing. And you just got to hit them and they'll break loose. So a little tip there. So I guess that's about it. Like I said, I tested them on the multimeter here. They checked out good, but they still didn't work right. And these here that I picked up used actually worked out better than the new ones that I bought. Now, when you buy these on eBay, you got to really watch. Some of these aftermarket fuel injectors are just junk. I've had, like I said, I had 1 or 2 that leaked around the top here. And this one here doesn't even fire at all. It looks brand new. I mean, I put 12 volts up to this thing. You can hear the thing buzzing. It's pretty bad. So when you're buying fuel injectors, you got to really pay attention to a lot of things and make sure you get the right ones for your vehicle. So there's the original ones. They're just for parts now. Maybe I can use the O-rings and the seals, and I got the 3 used ones in there off my rail, and we're good to go, man. I'm really happy. Well, hits the throttle. She sounds really good, and get back here where the exhaust is. You can hear it's a nice solid rumble. You don't hear that puff, puff, puff sound. So that's what you want to hear when you have a really good running engine. So I'm really happy there. So guys, if you like this video, let me know where you're watching from and say hello and all that. So hopefully this will help out some of you Nissan owners, Xterras, the second gens, Frontiers. Injectors go bad, and sometimes you just got to pull them out and look at them and test them the best way you can, and they still have problems, and you have to probably end up getting some used ones or some new ones. Also, you can pull the injector wire off. Be very careful. These will break. I did break one. I had to replace it best I could, and I will show you. You got to watch on the bottom here. If I can find the one I had here. By pulling these off, putting them back on, you end up breaking them. This is the original one that I broke, so I had to get another one, and put on there, and took care of that. So just be aware of that. So guys, thanks for watching. She's running pretty good, and that's it. So until my next video, guys, good luck with your Nissans, and I'll talk to you later.